Caitlin Clark makes biggest critic eat her words as WNBA icon performs huge U-turn. Caitlin Clark earned rare praise from Sheryl Swoopes after being crowned WNBA Rookie of the Year with 66 out of 67 possible votes. A near-unanimous victory came for the Indiana Fever star after gripping the nation in her first professional season, though not everyone was expecting her immediate success out of the University of Iowa. Swoopes, a four-time WNBA champion and three-time MVP, first raised eyebrows regarding Clark in March when she claimed that the Iowa native's NCAA scoring record wasn't legitimate because she was a 25-year-old player in her fifth year. The 53-year-old was speaking in hyperbole. Clark was 22 and in her fourth year at Iowa, but Swoopes was unimpressed because the budding superstar was taking about 40 shots a game. In August, Swoopes did not even mention Clark when gushing over the Fever's strong post-Olympics form. "I think the Olympic break really helped Indiana," she said on the Queens of the Court podcast. "I'm gonna shout out to Lexi Hull. I'm a big Lexi Hull fan. Lexi Hull shot the leather off the ball in their game against Seattle. Kelsey Mitchell is just stroking, she's just shooting the basketball. Aaliyah Boston, almost a triple-double. If Indiana continues to play the way they're playing like this, they too are going to move up in the standings." That was despite Clark going on average 19.2 points, 8.4 rebounds, 5.7 assists and 1.3 steals while shooting 41.7% for the field for the season, on her way to being crowned the league's top rookie. And it appears that despite bouncing out of the playoffs in the first round to the Connecticut Sun, Clark has managed to win over Swoopes with a rare piece of praise. "I just thought what Caitlin was able to do coming into the league this season, she was just crazy," Swoopes admitted. "Just shooting the basketball, her ability to put the ball where it needs to be when it needed to be there." Just last month, Swoopes played down the suggestion that Clark had been dominating the league, but has now gone back on those words in her previous criticism, aligning herself with Rookie of the Year voters. However, it may be some time before supporters get to see Clark back out on the court. After years of non-stop basketball, she is taking some time away from the sport during the off-season. There had been hope that she would join the likes of Angel Reese and compete in the 3-on-3 Unrivaled League, co-founded by WNBA stars Breanna Stewart and Mafosa Colliers. But instead, she is taking a break and playing golf in her downtime. 2025 WNBA MVP odds suggest Caitlin Clark and A'ja Wilson are neck and neck. Recently released 2025 WNBA MVP betting odds convey a clear story about who the WNBA's two best players are expected to be next season. Las Vegas Aces superstar forward A'ja Wilson became the second unanimous MVP in the WNBA's history this year, earning all 67 first-place votes to secure the prestigious award. There's no question that Wilson was deserving of the unanimous honor, and it was really no surprise to anybody that she received it. In fact, the biggest surprise when it came to the WNBA MVP voting ballots was Indiana Fever rookie superstar Caitlin Clark finishing fourth in the voting. Clark receiving this many votes, all 67 voters wrote 5 WNBA players on their ballots. Ranked 1 to 5 was not surprising, given how well she played this season. But very few people expected her to be such an effective player this early in her career. But now the league knows what Clark can and will do. The 22-year-old will take some time away from the court this winter and return energized and stronger for her sophomore campaign next season. And if the recently released 2025 WNBA MVP betting odds are any indication, Clark has an excellent chance to win the hardware next year. According to FanDuel, the favorite to win the 2025 WNBA MVP is Wilson, who currently has plus 195 odds. But Caitlin Clark is right behind her, with plus 220 odds. Not only are these two superstars nearly neck and neck, but it seems to be a two-horse race right now. The player with the third best odds to win the 2025 WNBA MVP is New York Liberty star Breanna Stewart, who currently sits at plus 600. These odds will likely shift as the season nears, but fans should be preparing for an iconic battle for WNBA MVP supremacy between Clark and Wilson next season. Leonard Green. WNBA star Caitlin Clark has to deal with petty players and bigoted fans. Caitlin Clark can't win. On one side of the court, she's catching it from petty players who think the only reason she has achieved rock star status is because she is white. On the other side of the court, she's catching it from critics who think she's not doing enough to denounce the racist backlash against the petty players. Somewhere in the middle, let's call it half-court, Clark has managed to take the women's basketball world by storm, filling sold-out arenas en route to a record-breaking season as the WNBA's Rookie of the Year. But even that was mired in controversy. Clark's Rookie of the Year honor fell one vote short, 66-1, of being unanimous. Why? Because one anonymous voter decided to vote for Caitlin's top rival and college competitor, Angel Reese, who led the WNBA in rebounding 13.1 per game, and missed the last couple weeks of the regular season with a broken wrist. Clark, who plays for the Indiana Fever, broke multiple league and franchise records in her first WNBA season, including the single-season record for assists, the rookie scoring record and most points by a guard in a single season in WNBA history. One vote. Petty. I am incredibly honored to be named Rookie of the Year, Clark said in a statement. But more than that, I am grateful to everyone that supported me throughout this past season. Clark was appropriately humble, but she has been criticized in some circles about the bigotry surrounding her status as the latest Great White Hope. After the Connecticut Sun bounced her team from the playoffs late last month, Fever fans showered Sun players with hateful remarks. Much of it was aimed at Sun guard Dejounte Carrington, who accidentally poked Clark in the eye. The incident prompted one columnist, USA Today's Christine Brennan, to ask Carrington if the hit was intentional. The WNBA Players Association was so offended by the question that it released a statement calling the question a blatant attempt to bait a professional athlete into participating in a narrative that is false and designed to fuel racist, homophobic and misogynistic vitriol on social media. Carrington's teammate Alyssa Thomas said the backlash against black players has been shameful. I've never been called the things that I've been called on social media, and there's no place for it, Thomas said in a post-game news conference. Even Clark, tired of the racist flagrant fouls, pushed back. Nobody in our league should be facing any sort of racism or hurtful, disrespectful, hateful comments and threats, Clark said. Those aren't fans, those are trolls, and it's a real disservice to the people in our league.